and welcome. Chris, I am well. Okay, where do I begin? Let's see. The live a couple of nights ago. Sorry about that. If y'all could get through the sniveling, we're all allowed a breakdown once in a while, right? Well, y'all heard it. But there was a point. Hey, Daniel. And the point was reactions, how we react to different things before we confirm whether it's true or false, dig deeper, communicate, trust. I could go on and on and on. And that was the point, is figure out which triggers are and work on them. I'm working on mine. I'm going to get there. It's a work in progress. So, dagnabbit. I'm ready to find an island. But you know what? You can't run away from it. If you have problems, that problem is still there. You can't run away from it. You got to face it head on, find the solution, solve it. There. Done. Hey, Tom. Okay, so maybe I use some old-fashioned words once in a while. Don't make fun of me. Yeah, I heard somebody trying to learn Texan, and I was like, good luck with that. Eric, good to see you, and thank you so much for doing that. Always. Love you, Eric. Song recommendations. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, I explained that. Over and done with, right? I'm not quitting. I just, I'm not quitting. Looking at the comments on that video and listening to some here and elsewhere, I was finally able to even get to my chat and look at it. And thank y'all for being understanding. Thank y'all for still being here. This is much appreciated. This is not for fame and fortune. This is not for... It's just sharing things, and if it helps somebody, if it sheds some light on something, hallelujah. That's my goal. So since Frog was kind of getting zapped a few times, Frog, I don't know what you were saying, but your comment, NC Debs, good to see you. Been a minute. Your comment on that video was interesting, actually. And did you see I said you're the sane one? So, yeah. I keep seeing, where are we at? Rescues? And somebody said something about being normal. And I said, define normal. I don't, some people have really high expectations of us as a people, and they seem to think we're failing in a whole lot of ways. And my view on that is no, everyone is just walking a different path, and you, you don't get to know a person until you just spend a lot of time with them. And so here we are. And I, as from what I know of every one of you that are so completely different, that I love that difference. That's what it's all about. That's what it's going to take. And some people need to learn that different people, even with their issues, whatever, we're going to get through. We're going to keep standing. We're going to keep bouncing back up. It's just the way we are. We've been through the crap, so we know how to bounce back up. Hey, Carl. I think I need to start drinking. So do I, Frog. If I could get up there, gun medicine. I was just talking about that today. I would sure turn to drinking, because then you don't have to go to the doctor for it. You don't have to ask permission for it. It's just there. So that was the point. Enjoy life. Embrace each blessing. Now, some of y'all might get a little mad. So I'm kind of changing things up a little. And there was a time when anybody would come up on panel and we would all have fun. We'd have serious discussions. We would have BS discussions. It didn't matter. And I miss that. And hopefully y'all do too. So I want y'all to come and hang out and relax. All are welcome if you know what respect is. Hey, Lauren, good to see you. Am I missing anybody? I don't know. If I miss you, I'm sorry. We all joke. Sometimes it's got adult content, which is allowed to a point. I've seen some pretty, there's a line, and I've seen a few cross the line. So no sex on panel or in chat, because if I'm not getting it, neither are you. So I just had to put that out there. Hey, Meat Puppet, Gigi. Chrissy Cat, good to see you. No, I didn't just say that. Kind of, sort of, maybe. Try to be open-minded about others' views, even if you don't agree. But don't start a fight about it, you know? No, Frog, you didn't hear what you think you heard. So I have a video I'm going to share with y'all. I know y'all just love that, not? But I am cleaning out my tabs. Hey, Kiss Off, good to see you. And I was kind of leery about sharing some of these, but um, I'm going for it. if if they take me down, we'll figure out a way to put another one up. Don't worry about it. What will take me years? To go through my tabs, it's not going to take me years, Gigi. Wait, where's the dang video? There it is. Okay. I got to click on it so YouTube knows what I want to do when I screen share. I'm going to mute. Here we go. Actually, Navy Vet was the first one to post this.
Masterfully planned and executed. During the Civil War, the Constitutional Republic abandoned Congress, which forced President Lincoln to issue martial law. At this time, the Republic was taken over by foreign insurgents who replaced it with the United States of America, Inc., in all caps, in 1871. A corporation that had the same name, the United States. What better way to replace it without anyone noticing that they just got turned into a business and commercialized? Now, this corporation was later purchased by the banking powers behind the Fed in 1912. The Fed was created in 1913. Why did this happen? Well, the US was bankrupt when we sold the United States to foreign banking cartels, if you will. Salvage liens were placed on every asset. Check this out, including the people of the new federalized states. Now let's fast forward to 1933. An income tax was placed on the people to pay these foreign bankers who own the IMF, which owns the IRS. Look into what the IRS actually is. Who is the IMF owned by? You got to follow the money. Who funds it? It's the same people that own the United States Inc. Same few families, and they're not American. So when I say foreign insurgents, that's what I mean. So 1933, USA Inc. goes bankrupt. An income tax is placed on its people. In other words, you and I were turned into property. Look it up. We were turned into cattle, and we were collateralized in order to turn us, humans, flesh and blood, into a means of paying off a massive debt. But the problem is that while you are technically a person, you've entered into contracts that you're completely unaware of, such as your birth certificate, social security number, etc., that are all saying, I consent to being collateralized. You're living as property, as opposed to living as a blood and flesh natural being. On paper, you are property. You are a corporation right now. You might be hearing this and thinking, we're fucked. We're property? Are you kidding me? And that's true. And property doesn't have rights. But here is both the blessing and the curse. There are multiple of you. Just like there's multiple United States of Americas. Sleight of hand, remember? What hat do they want to wear? There are multiple of you. The insane irony in all of this is the fact that they are actually now liable for all of your alleged obligations, aka debts. That's what a debt means. You can play a wrong move in chess and still win the game. And commerce is chess. Their greatest attempt to set us back actually is their greatest weakness. How can we owe debt if the United States is liable for all of its property? If we're its property, then it's the United States' burden to pay our debt. And that is exactly what the law says. I'm going to leave you guys with two different codes that I highly recommend you look into. First is going to be the House Joint Resolution Act 192. And when that occurred, the dollar was turned into what is called Federal Reserve debt notes. So if we're being asked to pay debts, but all we are given from the system is debt notes, aka fiat money, to pay back those debts, how can we pay a debt with a debt? I just want you to sit with that. They never gave you lawful money. They never gave you gold. They never gave you silver. The other side of it is looking into 18 USC 8, 18 United States Code 8. You're going to come to find out that that's literally telling you that the United States is liable for all debt. All of your debt, the United States is liable for it. How can you pay a debt with debt notes? Don't let that go over your head. They already got paid. Whoever's coming after you, saying you owe a debt, whatever, they already got paid. Why would you be paying it twice? Common law, a completely different, higher level set of law that comes from God, the Creator, is for a natural blood and flesh man. And yet you have been following legal law your entire life.
See, that was short and sweet. To the point. Excuse me. Putting the link. Oh, and there's a few other things. There might be some times that I talk about spirituality, and I will. There might be some times when I play a song, and I will. And there might be some times when I play a video, and I will. But it's only a bit. That is very true, Watla. That's what I remember. Now they make you get one for the child at the hospital. Why is that? Because from birth on, they are numbered. You will survive. You're not staying, Gigi. Yeah. What the hell did we do? We didn't even realize it. Yep. We are slaves to the corporation. First Social Security number was assigned to John David Sweeney Jr. New Rochelle, New York. Why does that name sound familiar? I mean, like, I just saw it today, maybe? I don't know. Let's think about that. Let me put the links up there. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. The red numbers off of your birth certificate. True, Chrissy Cat. Yeah. Waiting to see what Hubby does. I forgot why we can come so early. Okay, Gigi. I'm not. I'm gonna eat some Waffle House for you. Oh, that sounds good. Took a Belgian waffle. Wolverines, how are you? Wolverines, come talk to me. You haven't been up here yet. Kentucky. I'd love to go back to Kentucky. It's so pretty there. Oops, sorry about that. So we just had a storm earlier. Um, that's that link I put down there for y'all. But it looks like it's hitting the whole South all the way to the East Coast. She just kind of makes it sound like it's just about Texas, I guess because of all the flooding. So did y'all hear about the bridge in Galveston that the barge hit one of the, what do you call them? Cinder posts things. Hit one, caused an oil leak. Good for you, Wolverines. Oh, there's me, Puppet.
Yeah, it took a minute. YouTube decided to be stupid. But yeah, so I don't remember the exact website, so you might have to do an internet search.
Hi, Sharon.
Something to the effect of birth certificate numbers equal stock or something like that. It's like a Fidelity or some website, but
Hey, Carl.
the
Hey,
red letters. Hey, Carl.
what's up, meat?
Hey. Yeah, so interesting side note. If you didn't see my other comment that she shared, those red numbers on your birth certificate. If you look
Yeah.
them up on a stock website, it'll tell you how much it's worth. And by it, I mean you.
Hmm.
Ties into the video that
Bonnie?
Bonnie played a
2 cents,
handful of minutes back.
maybe 2 cents.
I think
What?
mine was less. Mine was about $20 or less. Last I briefly looked it up once.
Dang, we're worth a lot, aren't we? What's up, Carl?
Well,
Oh, I just
the
heard the
ones that are
volume go down. I
Oh,
can't hardly hear you guys suddenly, but I was gonna see if you could get you to play something and get everybody's take on it. That Echo sent you in messaging. It's that link she sent a little while ago. That's a Twitter one. So, can you play something like that on your? Do you know how to do that?
I think so. Yes.
she should be able to
That's an interesting
pull it up
one.
and
The one
share.
about his name's Raykin. He's an ex-Green Beret. Play that one for everybody. I'm going to jump back down because I can barely hear you. I heard the volume go down, and also when I went to go jump up here, I got a notice from YouTube that says the traffic is extremely high and they're having a lot of issues and they're trying to resolve it.
Huh. Okay.
That's
And
unusual.
um,
Yeah, I've never seen it before, but I can hardly hear you, so I'm going to jump down. But if you can find that, Bonnie, she said it a little while ago today, and
okay.
it's got me thinking, and I'm going to be doing some research on this.
I will look for it. Thank you, Rankin.
It's a little link she sent us. It was it's a Twitter thing. It didn't show a picture or anything.
Right. Okay.
I'm jumping down.
Okay. Can you hear me down there?
Yes, I can.
Okay. He had a little bit of a bobble when he came up, and I hit the echo cancellation, but it shouldn't have affected his sound. And I'm sorry, Meat Puppets. What were you saying before?
I was only commenting to him about what I just mentioned about the red numbers on the birth certificate.
Oh, okay.
Basically, meaning you are basically stock.
Yep. Cattle.
Yep, more or less. But I'd already knew all that. I'm sure George has got days of information on that stuff.
Yes. I can't see y'all right now because I'm looking for what
And I'm not looking at chat because I'm
Carl's.
driving. So that's why I got my hands free doohickey, aka the microphone.
Oh, dadnabbit. Okay, it's not going to show like that.
What is it, a Twitter video?
Yep.
If you
There
share your
has
screen,
been.
you should be able to play it.
Oh, yeah. Once I find it, it wasn't showing up where I was looking for it.
I see.
I've had workers, and I don't know why they don't, adjusters and all that. Why are they not afternoon people? Nope, first thing in the morning people.
Let's see. So I need this. That's because they want to be annoying.
All right. No, not that. Oh, there it is. Okay. If I open it and then email it to me, then I can open it for y'all.
Sounds like they get you jumping through hurdles.
Yes, that's the only way for a lot of things.
Yeah, I think. Matter of fact, I think down there by you, I think you guys are under a flood warning, if I'm not mistaken.
We were.
You and part of your area and part of Louisiana had a flood warning or something a little bit ago.
Yes, and that's because there's been so much rain already, and
Yeah,
it just keeps on, and that's
keeps
what
on.
happens. It floods,
Yep, that'll do it.
especially down around Houston.
I'm sure it's bad down there. I'm sure.
Yeah, it's like lower land.
Yeah, which is why Louisiana has all the problems because it's down below sea level, especially down by New Orleans.
Yes, and all of G-Ma Merkel, good to see you. All of our runoff goes that way too. It's like
Yeah. All the runoff eventually works its way out to the Mississippi and on down.
well, I don't think the Mississippi is over there, is it?
Yeah, Mississippi River runs right down through, literally right down through New Orleans. Actually, the Mississippi River Delta is just south of there, the actual city, but it's pretty close to the Mississippi River.
Oh, okay.
You'd have to look at a map, but I'm pretty sure I'm not wrong. Although there's a possibility, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Yeah, I had some family in Tomball and Humboldt, not Humboldt, Magnolia,
Mm-hmm.
in that area, and brother-in-law in Spring, but That's like really close to Houston. Most of this Tomball, kind of.
Mm.
It is still there the last time. Okay. I gotta look at my weather thing and see if another cell's coming, because I know it'll knock me off of here if it is. My electricity went off earlier, and I was like, I'm just gonna sit here and ride it out. Whatever happens, happens.
All right.
Yep, there's another
Ugh.
one in West Texas. That one's gonna miss me too. Good.
I'll just say, if y'all had a bunch of rain and flooded a little bit, you don't need any more rain for a while.
Yeah. Well, it's okay because it's kind of been like every 2 days, and so it gives us one good day of sunshine, and uh, the plants are just thriving. The hail beat the crap out of them, and but they're out of my 6 squash plants, I've got 3 left, and they're standing tall. Bell
Mhm.
peppers are blooming and sprouting, and
Oh, that's good.
tomatoes. I did see one bloom come back. The hail did beat off all the blooms, and a
I
couple
was
of.
gonna say, how big was the hail?
It was the size of a CD disc.
Ooh, that's pretty big.
Yes. When my adjuster came this morning
I
to
mean,
look at my roof,
if
he
it's
he was shocked. He said,
yeah, no CD disc size hail. That's almost that's larger than softballs.
"Yes," and that's what he said. He said, "I've never seen this before," and he said, "Y'all had it bad," and I said, "Well, that's why it looks like a football helmet went into my hood of my car, because it's that big. It looks like somebody just rammed a football helmet into the hood of my car.
Into the deal, right?
It's a big old dent. And I have a windshield coming tomorrow, and um, we'll see when I get I'm not worried about the dent for right now. I don't want it to
Yeah,
rust,
I was
but
gonna say, as long as it's not rusting, you should be fine. That's something you can always fix later.
yeah, I can spare an inch or two. I know so many people are getting rain. It's um I've been seeing just storms everywhere. Thankfully, no tornadoes touched down so far, knock on wood. And that's where I'm at. We usually catch like the tip of the storm, either at the beginning or the end. And that's usually what I have noticed is when the tornadoes are.
So
Is,
you're only getting the tip, huh?
well, sometimes, most of the time, I guess. But yeah, the one today, we kind of just got the tip of it.
I
I love the
see.
rain too. Do it. But I like the sunshine too. And so on the sunny days, we go out there and we sit on the deck and soak up the sun as long as we can until it clouds up again for another one.
Right.
It'll
Oh,
calm down. I even posted a picture on Facebook yesterday from 10 years ago, and it was low clouds, black as could be, and I said, here it comes again. Back then, that's what I had said. And
I see. So did you Were you able to pull up this mystery video from email?
Oh, you want to see the video? Okay, let me pull it up.
Well, he said it. I'm curious. I was curious if it was something actually important worth seeing, or
Oh, I understand.
then we can
It's
get back on the rabbit trail of weathers and tips and everything else.
if Carl's recommending it, it's probably pretty good. Okay,
Usually.
let me go to share screen. I have to mute.
Here, can I just ask that who brought you here today? Why you decided to come?
What's your name and what organization are you with?
Zoe Chase.
Zoe Chase.
And the show is called This American Life. It's a radio show.
And what radio program is it on?
It's its own show. It airs all over the country.
Who sponsors it? Is it on what program?
It's a for-profit company. It's its own independent company. It airs on public radio stations.
So it's
buy
on
the
NPR?
program. Well, yeah, it's on public radio, but it's not an NPR program. It's its own company.
Okay. So what is your question? You talked to me before?
Yeah, we met. I mean, it was like 2
Are
years
you
ago.
sure?
Yeah.
Which Reawaken?
It was the first one I went to was in Nashville.
Nashville.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I was in Nashville and that was not the first one.
No, it was my first one. It
Okay.
wasn't the first one. But there was like a hotel meet and greet afterwards with flyover.
And you're based out of where?
Yeah.
What brings you down here when you have that trial up there that you
I
should
don't
be
get to cover
focused
the
on?
trial. That's not my job.
How do they allocate
unfortunately.
that?
Well,
Like,
this
do you
work-
get tasked to come down here?
Not really. I gotta get to make my own choices, but our show is like a documentary show more. It's like a magazine.
Okay.
And so we don't do breaking news.
So do you want to do a sit-down long-form interview with me?
Well, actually, I was just going to ask you kind of like what brought you here, like why you were here and what you made of it. But we could
I'll
talk
put a post up about it with that question.
on,
And then you can follow that on X,
okay.
Telegram,
Yeah.
Truth,
Mhm.
Getter, my Rumble channel,
Right.
and all the other ones. And I can provide you that.
I just followed you on Twitter. So I was like,
Okay.
is that
Which one? Ivan Raikland?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because the other one's still censored by Brian Naughton at the FBI. Okay.
Sorry. Okay.
So my Raikland account is still being censored by the FBI's Brian Naughton, Laura Demlow, Joe Pienka, and Elvis Chan.
Whoa. So you started a new account?
No, that still exists because it was reinstated. Those are the individuals that are at the FBI that run the censorship industrial complex on behalf of this illegitimate regime. Do you know those names?
No.
I can provide you much detail on. They were the ones also involved in the original illegal Crossfire Hurricane spying operation on General Flynn, Carter Page, George Papadopoulos, and Paul Manafort. I have
definitely heard
receipts
those
on
names.
every single individual. That's why they haven't really come after me yet, because if they bring me in, the entire regime comes crumbling down.
Whoa.
Okay?
Well,
So they are scared of me, not the other way around.
That makes more sense. You, on your Twitter bio, I noticed today it said Secretary of Retribution.
Yep.
I just
will
wondered what that
guarantee.
meant.
Yeah, that means that I will guarantee consequences for a list of at least 350 individuals that are on my deep state target list.
Okay.
And when you read that deep state target list, remember I'm an attorney and a retired Green Beret. Okay.
That I know. Well, that I might be interested in talking with you more about is your deep state target list. If
It's,
you have time.
Elon Musk has it. Michael Schellenberger has it. Matt Taibbi has it.
Mm-hmm.
The Judiciary Committee has it. The Weaponization Committee has it. The Oversight Subcommittee that is part of the House Administration Committee has it.
Mm-hmm.
The House Freedom Caucus has it. The Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, likely has it. And it's just a matter of time for a joint press conference to take place between Speaker Johnson and Elon Musk to go ahead and disclose and released the Twitter direct messages of those individuals on my deep state target list, proving the seditious conspiracy going back to 2016, the illegal spying operation on the Trump campaign. You're also going to find the involvement of Mike Pence and his chief of staff, Joshua Pitcock, in that conspiracy, along with Josh Pitcock's wife, Catherine Seaman, who was the senior Russia analyst for Peter Strzok, who was one of the two individuals that was deployed by Jim Comey and Andrew McCabe to get General Flynn to lie or to get him fired, as per Bill Priestap's notes, which was the deputy assistant director of counterintelligence at the FBI.
That's a long list.
I can go in much more detail, but that's generally the crux of it.
Do you get to meet with Jim Jordan and talk about this stuff?
I meet with everybody.
All these guys?
Every single member that you think I talk to or may talk to, I talk to them.
And what do you guys talk about? Like, what's the reason that you talk to them?
Everything that I put out publicly,
Yeah.
I also provide that to them.
And I guess
I don't do anything behind the shit, like behind closed doors.
I guess what I mean is, like,
transparent.
what are you hoping to get out of talking to them? Like, why do you do it?
I want to guarantee Elon Musk discloses the direct messages for the mother of all Twitter files, so that the entire country can see what just occurred to them, starting from the illegal spying operation, the corrupt DOJ and FBI. The raid on Mar-a-Lago was to seize the evidence that was declassified by Donald Trump in the last few hours of his first term, which involved the Crossfire Hurricane details, which would list all the names that I've mentioned so far. Whether it was Lisa Page, who was Andy McCabe's chief counsel at the time, along with Peter Strzok, a guy by the name of Joseph Pientka III, who is currently the number 3 individual at the San Francisco field office. So you have the special agent in charge, you have a ASAC, assistant special agents in charge, and then you have the ASAC for counterintelligence. That guy is a guy by the name of Joseph Pientka III, who was the second agent that was deployed to interview General Flynn on January 24th, 2017, in order to get General Flynn fired or to get him to lie. That was an entrapment. And that's the same agent that was deployed in August of 2016 to the Trump campaign to do what they call a counterintelligence briefing, a defensive one, but with the secondary purpose in order to, and this was him, Pientka, along with Trump, Chris Christie. You know that Chris Christie's attorney during his Bridgegate scandal was Christopher Wray?
I didn't know that.
Well, now you know. And then the third person in that meeting was a guy by the name of General Flynn. Joe Pientka was deployed by the Crossfire Hurricane leadership, authorized by the general counsel at the time, Jim Baker, who then later became the Twitter 1.0 number 2 lawyer, to coordinate the censorship industrial complex, to cover up and censor and suspend those individuals that exposed their corruption, okay? And it just keeps mounting and mounting and mounting the cover-ups. This is just they're trying to take out Trump now, because they were able to take out their first existential threat, which was General Flynn, because he would have been the first one to go ahead and expose this level of corruption, because he knows the system. Now that Trump knows the system after being 4 years in it, he is now an existential threat to that very DOJ, the national security apparatus. Remember, 39 individuals unmasked General Flynn, okay? One of them was Jamie Raskin's wife, Sarah Raskin. Totally unlawful unmasking. Look that up. The 51 individuals that said the Biden laptop had all the earmarks of a Russian information campaign, where your colleagues over at Politico published that on their website. One of those 51 individuals is John Brennan. Another one is a guy by the name of David Buckley. David Buckley ended up becoming the staff director for Liz Cheney's and Benny Thompson and Nancy Pelosi's January 6th cover-up committee.
So it's a pretty small world, it sounds like.
So David Buckley was tasked to create a list and do his deep state target list of political targets. So now it's my turn. I have a deep state target list, and I'm coming for all of them. And what does that mean when I say coming for all of them? It means the most legal, moral, and ethical consequences, to the maximum, to include the maximum punishment for treason, I personally guarantee that they're going to face those consequences. And you can take a look at that list.
Like, are you going to sue them? Is that what you would do?
Just wait for it.
Okay.
You will see it. It will be so visible for the entire world to see and hear. I'll give you some examples.
Okay.
I'm going to incorporate the precedents that's already been set. So we're going to incorporate what was done to General Flynn. We're going to incorporate what was done to Steve Bannon, what was done to Peter Navarro, what was done to Mike Lindell, what was done to Scott Perry. Translation: expect to see live streamed swatting raids of every single individual on that deep state target list, because the precedence has already been set.
And with
Remember
that,
when Mike Lindell in the Hardee's parking lot, the FBI went and conducted armed robbery of him in Minnesota? Remember when Peter Navarro was swatted in an airport? Remember when Steve Bannon, on multiple occasions within the U.S. Capitol Police jurisdictional zone, conducted swattings and allowed for swattings to take place of Steve Bannon and his residence? Remember the armed robbery and burglary of Roger Stone that was live streamed by your colleagues over at
With
Criminal
CNN.
News Network?
Yeah.
That we're going to take in the collective and do that. Okay?
Okay.
It does not matter what happens in the election. It does not matter who
That's what I was
wins the
gonna
election.
ask.
This is going to take place at the hands of the American people, with or without an election, and with or without whoever wins the election. I guarantee you that that will take place at the county and state level, because right now the federal government is not in a position, because of its capture and its corruption. So imagine this. When you take a look at the direct messages and the geotagged location data of the 350 plus members on that deep state target list, and then you curate that, Elon Musk, and then do geotagging of the communications, and then you present those communications to name the county of the 3,143 county and county equivalents in our nation, the 50 states and the 6 federal districts, right?
Okay.
And then you identify where a treasonous communication took place. And then you present that to the local DA, similar to good old Alvin Bragg. That then will create the nexus to showcase this criminal, conspiratorial, seditious conspiracy and treason charge. And that local DA, the local sheriff, will then be deputizing folks like Ivan Raiklen and those of us that were thrown out of the military because we did not comply with the illegal DNA mutilation injection, the forced DNA mutilation injection.
Do you mean the COVID vaccine?
I'm talking about the CCP-19 lab incident money-making scheme by Pfizer, the Pfizer fail, the Moderna mutilation, or whether it was just a myocarditis making heart exploding J&J jab. So those of us that were either thrown out or left because we would not participate in the DNA mutilation of our own physiological beings, there's 80,000 of us that are ready, willing, and able in order to be deputized by appropriate sheriffs throughout the country to be participants as lawful deputies to conduct the live stream swatting raids of every single person that we can identify that conducted the necessary unlawful activity by county on my deep state target list.
2 questions. Where did you get the 80,000 number? My first question.
Yeah. So 8,600, about 8,500 approximately, were thrown out of the military. Okay.
Because they wouldn't do the vaccine.
Because it wasn't a vaccine. The name of vaccine, the definition changed before the rollout, and it was never approved by the FDA. There was never a product that was approved by the FDA to then be able to coerce and manipulate into other people's bodies. Don't believe me? Look at the footnote on FDA's own quote unquote approval of Pfizer's Comirnaty. Legally distinct, and the product was never created. The Pfizer BioNTech was created, but that one was never approved. That was only under emergency use authorization.
Right.
So I need to correct you on that one. You need to do some more studying, ma'am, okay?
I hear you.
Next, 80,000, okay? As far as the 80,000 goes, that's the minimum that I see of folks that left the military early through retirement, ended their careers early because of the illegal mandate that was promulgated by and enforced by the entire chain of command. Those are also going to be, many of the members on the deep state target list are those military leaders, quote unquote leaders, I call them failures, within the Department of Defense and at the Pentagon, that will face similar consequences for forcing and coercing unlawfully the mutilation of another person's body, and thus minimizing and destroying our personal readiness
So this is
within
all
the
post
DoD.
2020 people you're talking
No.
about.
Come on. Are you going to ask that question in that level of ignorance? 2016, Crossfire Hurricane?
No. I mean,
Hello?
I'm saying the 80,000 that you
I
referenced.
mean, at this point, you're wasting my time if you don't even have that level of context. Take a couple hundred hours to research the subject, follow my work on Rumble. Once you see that, I want you to identify one thing that I have incorrect, and then you can start coming after me with questions to scrutinize it, because you have not done the necessary requisite research to for me to even give you my time. So I think that's about it.
Can I ask one last question? You don't have to
It
answer.
better be intelligent.
Well, I don't guess that'll be in the eye of the beholder. You don't think, you were saying it doesn't matter what happens in the election. So you don't think you need sort of the protection of Trump's Justice Department to do some of what you're talking about?
No, because we're going after the Justice Department.
But like,
They are the enemy. That's what you fail to understand. The individuals that I mentioned are the enemy of our constitutional order. We're coming for them maximally. And how we're coming for them is because we are engaging with counties and states in order to crush them.
with via the sheriffs, basically.
What do you think Alvin Bragg's doing right now? Is that a federal officer?
No.
Exactly my point. Look at the counties in this country that are red versus blue. It is overwhelmingly red. So Alvin Bragg and the Dems are setting our precedent as we go on offense.
Okay. Well, thanks, Ivan.
It's going to be a doozy. And I love it when it gets spicy. And there are, again,
I believe you.
out of 80,000 of us, we are clamoring to be deputized by sheriffs nationwide in order to conduct the necessary live stream raids, if they want to push us to that.
So if I did want to follow up with you, and you
And I'll
wanted
say
to
lastly,
answer, yeah,
there are over 1 million service members. I'm gonna say this. Like you said, Secretary of Retribution. The Secretary of Retribution consists of 3 divisions. Number 1, the research arm. And should there be a mechanism where we create it, it's going to be the first division. Is, again, everything I'm telling you, I have already said it publicly, and I have many podcasts where I've said this.
Yeah.
So number 1, we're going to have a research arm to continue to develop our targets. Okay. Number 2, and that's going to be staffed by January 6th defendants, family members, as well as their lawyers, since they have already kind of conducted some of that research. So they're already kind of interned, if you will, over the last 3.5 years. Number 2 will be the second division, which will include the action arm, the 80,000 of us that have decades of conducting this type of activity of actioning targets overseas, right? And the third arm is going to consist of those that will live stream, right? Independent media, obviously not your organization, won't be included in that. But they will ride along. They will ride along and live stream the swattings and raids of the second division that I just mentioned, that are properly and appropriately deputized to conduct those raids. And then the first arm is obviously going to be the ones that create those lists. We're just using the playbook and the precedents that has already been developed to target those that conducted lawful First Amendment activity on January 6th and everything downstream from that.
So if you say you don't need, you're not waiting for Trump's election, like when are you planning to do it?
Stand by. Just keep an eye on things.
Okay. So how could I follow up with you?
So you can follow everything I do online. Everything's public.
But like, if
And
I
I
wanted to
advocate,
ask you a
again,
question,
I advocate for the most, these people are going to experience the most peaceful and patriotic, lawful, moral, and ethical experience of their life.
the swatting and the raiding sounds scarier than lawful and ethical and
It's
peaceful.
it's legal, moral, ethical. I said it was peaceful and patriotic. It may not be peaceful for them, but for me, it'll be peaceful.
Okay. So, but if I message you on Twitter or something, that would be a way to ask a question?
Publicly, you can comment on me on my posts publicly,
Okay.
and I'm going to post this. Again, your name? Okay.
Wow.
Well, if it's true, should be interesting.
Yeah.
If he has what he says he has, and follows through with what he says, and it's legitimate, it'd be surprising to see someone be held accountable. At this point, I'm amazed he hasn't been Clintoned or Epsteined. If what he says he has, I'm surprised he's not dead already. But we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. True.
Interesting if it's true. Not surprised by the accusations.
Yeah. And it's probably all down there where the flooding is where they don't have propane. So today this came out. Let's see, it says it came out 4 hours ago. Deadly surge. CJD cases skyrocket post COVID vaccines. United States. A
What's
rare,
the CJD case? What?
I'm going to get to that. A rare, highly
Oh, right.
progressive neurodegenerative disease, notably, okay, I'm going to try and pronounce it.
Mm-hmm.
Creutzfeldt Jakob disease has
Oh,
shown
yeah. CJD. Okay, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
a concerning
Yeah.
rise following the distribution of COVID-19 vaccines. Prion disease is characterized by brain deterioration leading to swift demise, have seen a notable uptick over the past 3 years, with many new instances reported post-COVID-19 mRNA vaccine administration. Prions, known for their ability to rapidly degrade similar proteins, raise concerns about transmissibility when individuals are exposed to affected organs or blood. And that's all I'll read of it. But yeah, it's
Yeah. It took me a minute to
more
realize
is
what you were
coming
saying
out
with CJD.
of what these are causing. And I still feel like the people who forced their employees, military or not, should be held accountable.
Well, that's the whole thing, though. Is that whole we'll call it the jab, for lack of a better term. The guy's right. It's basically why that's why we're having all these people having seizures and CJD and dying, young people, athletes dying of heart attacks out on the field. It's all because they took the jabs and the boosters.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That's my best friend. She was full of clots, legs and lungs.
Yep.
Yep. So we'll see what happens with that. I mean, the more it comes out that they're admitting that all these things are from, I mean, that was clearly stated.
Right.
There's no denying it anymore.
Well, I mean, they'll probably still try to deny it, but by this point, yeah, there's enough proof out there. Um,
Yep. And
uh,
I think that one, or maybe it was another one, even went into the drugs that they were giving you in the hospital. And the
yeah,
REM
matter of fact, what was it? There's one
is,
where if you were in the hospital, um, oh, remdesivir, that's what it is. If you're ever in the hospital for something like that, and they want to give you, you've had say a booster or two, and they try to offer you remdesivir, flat out refuse it because that will put you into a coma and then you're dead.
you don't even have to have the vaccine for it to do that. So that's
You're
what I
right.
was given.
Yeah.
That's what I was given a year and a half ago. Thankfully, not by an injection or anything. It was given to me as a prescription when I went to pick up my prescriptions, and
Mm-hmm.
I threw them in the trash because I knew what they did. And I
Right.
contacted a EMT trainer and asked her, doesn't this start shutting down organs? And she said, yes, ma'am. And I said, well,
Yeah.
that's what I was prescribed in our little hospital up here north of me.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where I think that um, the people who know, I mean, she is in the health field,
Well,
and
right, and that's where having people in that field, like you mentioned, or if they're a pharmacist, uh, are good people to know because then you can ask questions like that.
but are they going to tell you? I mean,
Uh,
Walgreens just handed it out to me with no problem, no instructions, nothing.
I'm not surprised, and most of them are just going to do that. But there are a handful of individuals I would speculate who would, like your EMT friend, when you ask that question, will tell you the truth.
Yes. Well,
Probably not a lot of people like that, unfortunately, but
that's why I find those kind of people, because it's really hard to trust the health system nowadays. And
right,
so I want to know who I can call if need be without going in.
right, which is good to have.
Yes.
Of course, I trust the health system about as much as I trust the politicians, which is I don't. So,
No. And nobody does anymore. And that's what they've done. They have,
well, I honestly speaking never have trusted the politicians, but that's just me.
but I mean, the medical system has destroyed itself doing
Sure,
this, all for money.
because yeah, it's all because they want the profit.
And
Why do you think most countries don't take our beef anymore?
everything that's happening is all for the money.
Right,
That's,
they're trying to get as much money as they can so they can finish collapsing the system, wipe out the debt, and put us in a controlled digital currency.
yes.
And then when you don't do what they want, all right, cool, you can't spend your money.
I have another link. I'll drop it in chat. I'm not going to share it. This one came out today too about who's funding immigration.
Probably Soros.
Nope. Well, I
Well,
don't.
not him. I think his son took over, but him or someone like him, more than likely. And I don't know for sure. I'm just guessing, but
Mm, there it is. Copy link.
red light.
I think this is it. Sent a couple. I'm not sure. which one that is. Graphene. Hmm. Well, I'll just put the second one in there too, because I don't know which one it is, and they're both um, pretty informative, I think. I don't even know what I'm putting links to. Just know that there's a lot of information in there. Okay. I'm going down. And you know what? I don't even know if 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 I am reading news articles, how can they take it down? If it's being sent to your news source, if it's public knowledge, right? It's out in the public. It's not
Yeah.
classified. Nothing
No.
I share is classified. We wouldn't even be able to get a hold of anything classified. That's
No,
ridiculous.
most normal people would not be able to get a hold of classified information.
So that they are censoring us for things that we can get a hold of anywhere on the internet is ridiculous. There's just
It
no
is.
reason.
Well, there's a reason, because they don't like what you're saying.
But it's out there.
No, you're right. It is. Absolutely.
Well, that interview about the border and who's funding it, it when I watched it, it just made me sick. And
Well, and
then,
who knows how many different terrorist group or individuals are sneaking across the borders.
and that's exactly what's going on. They're sending their poor and the criminals. And
Of course they are.
he says it in there. Whenever he was investigating, that's what he found. And
Yep.
So these other
And then they
countries,
give them debit cards and cell phones and fly them or bus them to different parts of the country.
all of that's in there. And so then these other countries that they're sending all these people from are really looking good right now because all the poor
yeah.
people are gone and all the criminals are gone. And
Yeah.
so
So why wouldn't it look that you get rid of all your quote
yes,
unquote undesirables,
yeah,
send them to the U.S. or wherever, and then look how good our country is. Well, no doubt, because you got rid of a bunch of people.
yes. Yeah. And always do your research on anything. I mean,
Absolutely, definitely do your homework.
do not believe everything you see and hear because um, there was a video I was watching and it was shooting down UFOs. Seems like it was over Mexico or somewhere, I don't know. And
Hmm.
so my first thought was AI. They can do anything with AI. I
They
don't
can
know.
do lots of stuff with it. Yeah.
I just don't know.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I was just pulling into where I'm parking tonight for delivery in the morning, and there's another driver that's already here.
It's all internet libels. Well, that's possible. But
Well, if it's on the internet, there's a good probability that it's complete BS, but not always.
yes. But that
Which is
interview
why.
seemed
Sorry, go
pretty
ahead.
good because
Yeah, no, it did. The one that you just played seemed pretty good. It seems. I'd say there's a high I'd say there's a 70% chance that it's legit.
Oh, I don't know about that one. I'm talking about the one he's done documentaries. The guy that he was interviewing, he's done documentaries about all of this. He's been investigating it for the past years. I can't remember what he said, 4 or 8 years that he has been following to see who's doing what in each country, because that's 5 different countries that are involved in that. And one of the countries in the middle, it's illegal for immigration. So it's explained in that interview
I see.
why they allow it.
Well, if it's anything like Japan and their declining population, they may have to start importing people.
Um, we're in a big old mess.
Oh, it's a big hot mess, but you know.
Yep. Y'all ready for a song to calm down now?
Yep, I'm backing into my parking spot, so play a song. Go for it.
Yeah, how do you know who to trust? Good question, Rob. You don't. You absolutely don't. You know what? Just before this,
General rule: don't trust anyone.
yeah.
It's worked pretty good for me so far.
Well, I decided to relax and watch a movie before I came on because I was pretty nervous and or whatever. And so I decided to watch White House Down. I don't know if y'all seen that, Channing Tatum.
No, I don't like that one. I like the other one, Olympus Has Fallen. Much better movie.
I haven't heard of that one. Just White House
It
Down
is
popped
it,
up,
it,
and I was like, okay.
yeah. No, I mean Olympus Has Fallen and White House Down are the same movie. The only difference is Olympus Has Fallen, in my personal opinion, is much, much, much better.
Olympus Has Fallen.
Correctamundo. And there was a sequel to it where they were in London called London Has Fallen. I don't remember if there was a third one or not, but I know there was 2 for sure.
Huh. Well, I couldn't finish it. Once I realized who and what was going on, I was like, yep, stop this right now. And um, it raised questions, and I was just like, yeah, I got to get okay. And then I started with the Bible and decompressing, I guess you could say.
Right.
Because so many of the movies, you just never know. I don't know.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Seem to show a lot.
Yeah, some of them you just don't know, but
Okay, so
yeah,
I'm
play your
trying.
song or whatever.
You're gonna mute.
Well, I'm parked for the day, and my headset's gonna be dead soon, so yeah, go for it.
So you're going to sleep.
Pretty soon.
Okay.
But not just yet, but here shortly. I'll be hopping down, but I'll wait for your song if you want to play your song.
Okay.
here you go again. You say you want your freedom, but who am I to keep you down? It's only right that you should play the way you feel it. Listen carefully to the sound of loneliness, like a heartbeat drives you mad, and the stillness of remembering what you had and what you lost and what you had, what you lost. Thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. Say women, they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you know. You know. Now here I go again. I see the crystal visions. I keep my visions to myself. It's only me that wants to wrap around your dreams. And have you any dreams you like yourself? Dreams of loneliness, like a heartbeat drives you mad, and the stillness of remembering what you had and what you lost and what you had and what you lost. Thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. Say women, they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you know. Oh, thunder only happens when it's raining. Yeah, players only love you when they're playing. Yeah, women, they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you know. You know. You will know. Oh, you will know.
Better?
Yep. Yeah, that's another tab I can close now.
Yeah.
I have several songs up here that I'm not getting rid of till I play them, dang it.
Well, before my headset completely dies and I fall asleep, I'm going to hop down and unwind a little bit, but we'll catch you on the next one.
Take care, Meat Puppet. Thank you for joining me.
Yep, we'll talk to you later, Miss Bunny.
Have a good night. And there goes the neighbor dog. Well, y'all, Hey Ed, how are you doing? I don't see anybody wanting to come up, and I think I've shared with y'all what I can tonight. I'll go through and see what's next. India will be live tomorrow night. A little bit, Ed. What does that mean now? New Twister movie. I've been hearing about that. Yep, the weekend's almost here. Hope y'all do something fun or enjoyable or relaxing. Or somebody mentioned fishing today, and that sounds like a good idea. If it's not raining, we'll see. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and close it up. Thank you so much for coming in. Maybe Saturday. We'll see. True, Ed. Hope to see y'all at Indies tomorrow night. Y'all have a good night. God bless you. Till next time. Love y'all.